If you're like me, part of the single Pringles, been ready to mingle, you're asking yourself, and your friends and probably some of your family members as well, why are you still single?
Surprise!
At first glance, babe, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't have a clue. You're stunning, absolutely stunning, but we're realists here, okay? Your luck just hasn't seemed to come into fruition. I've spent the better half of my adolescence wondering why it's been so hard for me to find a significant other worthy enough for me to cuddle with at night, especially during those cold winter nights. But I don't think I found all the answers. I think there's still a lot for me to learn. I'm only 21. But despite there being a lot more for me to delve into and explore as to why I can't find a man, I think I found a few points that maybe, just maybe, some of you single Pringles may be able to resonate with. Excuse me. The first possible reason I thought was worth considering is that maybe we're just a little bit too young. Being young and having all of the restrictions placed upon you by your parents or caregivers, it's easy to differentiate what makes you a child and what makes them an adult. And the blurred lines start to come specifically during puberty. Girls start to notice that their breasticles are coming in and their hips are getting wider, and men are having their voices get deeper and facial hair starts to grow. And might I add, let's fight the taboo of women having facial hair too, okay? Body hair is natural. Women aren't supposed to be hairless. They just statistically have less hair than men. Less hair, not hairless. There's a difference between less hair and hairless. Moving on, I don't know if this theory already exists, but I suspect that there is a transition in the minds of young people where they are now able to see that what once differentiated them from their parents and from their caregivers and maybe even from their elder siblings, the lines are starting to become a lot more blurred. Mum has boobs, but so do I. Dad has a beard, but so do I. At this point, you want to be treated like an adult. You look like an adult. You don't see in the mind, in your adolescent mind, you don't see the reasons as to why you shouldn't be treated like an adult. So you start acting like one. This is where a lot of the problems start. This is why parents hate their fucking teens, because they start acting like they know it all when they don't. Just because you look like an adult doesn't mean you have adult experiences. There are a lot of firsts that you'll be experiencing during this time. First time living outside of your family home, first time drinking alcohol, first time having sex, first time being in a relationship. And for almost every single person, it always ends in shit. It ends in absolute hellfire. And that's because it's your first time doing it. We don't have the experience and the knowledge necessary to get into a relationship first time and it just be right. It just be great. We just know what to do. We don't have that. You're gonna have to make some mistakes. You're gonna have to fail. And maybe that's why you're still single. It's just part of the process, my love. Nothing personal. Number 2, maybe your expectations are a little bit unrealistic. I reckon that kind of feeds into the first point. Both millennials, particularly younger millennials and Gen Z, grew up in an era where they were seeing the rise of Disney, the rise of fairy tale and fairy tale endings, and maybe that has had an impact on the expectations that you have for a meaningful relationship. When they're singing, Jinx, Jinx again, our mental synchronization can something. It's a cute song, but it's unrealistic. It's unrealistic that you are going to find a partner who can read your mind. The idea of they should just know. They should just know what's wrong with me. They should just know why I'm feeling sad. They should just know what my favorite color is, what my favorite food is, how I want to be touched, how I want to be tended to. They should just know. You are your own person. You have your own perspective, your own way of interacting with this world. Your best bet to get some form of understanding is to speak. Is to speak. That is your best bet, is to open your mouth and speak. It would be an extremely romantic scenario for your partner just to be able to read your mind, but unfortunately, for most of us, that may just be a bit of an unrealistic expectation to have. And last but not least, you don't know what you want. You are changing all the time. All the time. Yes, you will reach a point of routine, but that's at a later stage of life. Bearing in mind that yes, you are going to change. I think it may even be worth acknowledging that you will try new things and you may have new hobbies, and it may take you to different places, or it may take you to different people. Expect to change and also expect your partner to change. But if you can outline some fundamental core values that you know that you won't change, you can then take those same shared values and make sure that the person that you are interested in developing a long-term relationship with have those same values. But I can't stress enough how important and how personal these values need to be to you. They need to be catered to you. You can't take anyone else's advice with regards to what you value. That's something that you're going to have to sit with yourself and decide on your own. It's going to be your why. When shit hits the fan and you guys are screaming at each other, you want to break up, you want to get a divorce, this why needs to be so strong, because it's going to be the thing that gets you through. And so I've heard, because I'm still single. So yeah. But I know that the question, why am I still single, is something that a lot of us think about, whether we want to admit it or not. Wanting romantic companionship is natural. So it's natural if you're thinking about it. It's not something that you should be ashamed of, where you have the freedom to explore and create a life or a person, create the person that you want to be. Utilize this time while you can. Being single is a blessing. Because once you get into a relationship, once you get into a marriage, once you have children, once you have grandchildren, you can no longer live for solely yourself. You're living for the collective. Because of the development of technology, we have been given the blessing and the privilege to even have the ability to explore individualism in the way that we can. And I don't think it's something that should be thrown away. And you should be so happy with yourself that you have this period to explore wherever the fuck you want to explore. Just know that your time is coming. Or is it? But that's for another video. Thank you for watching the video. I will see you in the next video. Here's another blessing. Here's another blessing. And here's another blessing for you. Bye now.